subscribe channel, like and comment video.
The bridge between worlds. The Sea King's throne room fell silent as Ariel stood before her father, trembling but resolute. King Triton's face was a storm of emotions: anger, fear, and something that looked painfully like heartbreak. His youngest daughter, his precious Ariel, wanted to leave the ocean forever for a human she barely knew. "You don't understand what you're asking," Triton said, his voice heavy with centuries of wisdom and worry. "Humans are dangerous, unpredictable. They hunt our kind, pollute our waters, take everything the ocean offers and give nothing back." Ariel's eyes glistened with tears, but her voice remained steady. "Father, I know you want to protect me, but I can't breathe down here anymore. Every day I feel like I'm drowning in a world that doesn't fit who I am." Triton turned away, gripping his trident so tightly his knuckles went white. For years, he had tried to shield his daughters from the surface world, haunted by memories of his own losses to human cruelty. He had built walls of rules and restrictions, believing that control equaled safety, that if he just held tight enough, nothing could hurt them. But Ariel had slipped through his fingers anyway, drawn to the very world he feared most. "I lost your mother to them," he whispered finally, the words torn from somewhere deep and ancient within him. "I cannot lose you too." Ariel approached slowly, placing her hand on her father's arm. "You won't lose me. But if you force me to stay, you'll lose who I really am. I'll become a shell. Father here in body but gone in spirit." The truth of her words struck Triton like a physical blow. He saw then what his fear had blinded him to, that his daughter had been slowly fading, her light dimming beneath the weight of his protection. Love, he realized, wasn't about keeping someone safe in a cage of your own making. It was about letting them fly, even when every instinct screamed to hold them close. Meanwhile, on the shore above, Prince Eric stood at the water's edge, staring at the waves. His advisors had spent days trying to convince him to forget the mysterious girl who couldn't speak, to marry someone appropriate from his own world. They called his feelings foolish, a fantasy born of gratitude rather than genuine love. But Eric had seen something in Ariel's eyes that transcended words: a wildness, a yearning, a spirit that matched his own restless soul. She was different from anyone in his kingdom, and that difference wasn't something to overcome. It was exactly what drew him to her. "They say she's not one of us," his closest friend said gently. "That this can never work." Eric smiled sadly. "Then perhaps us needs to expand. Maybe love isn't about finding someone who fits perfectly into your world. Maybe it's about being brave enough to build a new world together." When Ursula rose from the depths as a monstrous titan, threatening to destroy everything, it was that understanding of that willingness to sacrifice here that saved them all. Triton offered himself to spare his daughter, choosing her happiness over his own life. Eric sailed directly into danger, risking everything to save the girl from a realm he didn't understand. In the end, both had to surrender their certainties. Triton had to accept that protecting Ariel meant releasing her. Eric had to embrace a future that challenged everything his kingdom considered normal. As Triton raised his trident and transformed Ariel's tail into human legs, he understood the deepest truth of love. It asks us to hold on and let go simultaneously, to celebrate who someone is while accepting they may grow beyond us, to build bridges instead of walls. Ariel emerged from the waves and ran to Eric, finally able to exist fully in both worlds, carrying the ocean in her heart while walking on land. She hadn't abandoned her past, she had integrated it into a future neither world could have imagined alone. True love, they discovered, doesn't demand that someone become smaller to fit your vision. It expands to hold the fullness of who they are and invites you to grow alongside them. The sacrifice isn't about losing self, it's about surrendering the illusion of control and trusting that love, when real, will find its way. Their wedding united two kingdoms that had feared each other for generations, proving that acceptance could transform even the deepest divides into bridges. And as the Sea King watched his daughter dance on human legs, his heart both broken and full, he learned that sometimes the greatest act of love is simply letting someone become who they were always meant to be.